Awesome.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna record it so I can take down your responses later because I honestly don't feel like typing right now.
That's all good.
So
Whatever you need.
just I'm not gonna take more than 20 minutes of your time. It's dinner time.
Oh no, man. However long you want to go, I'm down.
Um, so I'm Patrick Spires. I'm a junior here at Ole Miss. I am the social media coordinator for Ole Miss Esports, actually, which
Hmm.
is why I'm so interested in content creation, social media, that sort of thing for esports. Um, it's one thing I've looked into doing as a career. So I kind of just wanted to get some information because when the classes I'm in right now wants us to interview someone in the field that we're interested in to kind of get some of that information
Oh.
about how you got into the field, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I'm just going to start it off. So what's your name and who do you work for?
My name is Jarrell Bell, and I work for Atlanta Reign of the Overwatch League and Atlanta FaZe of the Call of Duty League.
Awesome. So what drew you into this line of work?
So before I did content and marketing, I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player for the longest time. Like when I was about 14 to like 17ish, I competed in a lot of like online tournaments and stuff like that. So I was really into that competitive side of gaming and esports. And that was before like I was making any money or whatever. And then around I think 20 like when I was around 17 or 18, I started playing Rainbow Six Siege and I really liked the game. So I started making YouTube videos around it and I started kind of blowing up with the Rainbow Six Siege scene. And that's kind of how I got my start in esports because right around 2016 when Overwatch came out, the year after that, Overwatch League was obviously made and like the whole league started with franchising. And that was like when a huge boom in jobs were happening where people were, asking for anyone and anything to like join.
Mm,
And that was like the time where they're hiring a bunch of like content creators and like YouTubers. So I was like, I don't really have that much experience, but I'm good with a camera and I know how to edit videos. So I might as well apply. And sooner or later, I applied, and about a week after that, they hired me. So that's kind of like where I got my foot in the door with esports.
awesome. So kind of going off of that, can you describe like your career path kind of? So you joined up with Atlanta Rain. How did that lead into phase?
So my career path is I did a lot of freelance stuff after I tried to compete. I like freelanced myself as an editor and a videographer at like a bunch of Call of Duty events. Like I'd travel for literally no money. I'd do it for like $100 and I'd pay a bunch of stuff out of my pocket. Um, After that, I joined San Francisco Shock, which was the first team I joined in Overwatch League in the first year. And then I was with them for a year. And then me and the head coach Sefi, I was with him on Shock, and then lucky enough, which is pretty cool that we both ended up on Atlanta Rain together. And then with AEV being the owners of Atlanta Rain, they're also the owners of Atlanta FaZe. So this year when we partnered with FaZe Clan, we made Atlanta FaZe for the Call of Duty League. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now.
Awesome. So, with your job right now, what are the skills that you think are most important?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I went to school when I graduated college when I was 18 in
Mm,
fine arts in an art degree, an associate's degree, but it wasn't anything related to marketing or social media or gaming or anything like that. Everything I know and I've done is self-taught, like just to do self-practice in YouTube. I would say just need a firm grasp on the demographic we're trying to get into. When it's esports and gaming, it's just super broad. So you really want to find your specific niche, whether it's Call of Duty, Overwatch, Rocket League, Valorant is a huge game now. Just find like your specific niche that you want to like focus on, and then just study all you can in that game, and then also just learning like just the environment, like how people speak in that space. Like, say you want to do marketing, social media for a Call of Duty team. That voice and that brand image is going to be a lot different than maybe a Rocket League team or a Smite team. So you really want to like focus on like how you want to voice your brand because as a marketing person or social media or anything related to content, you really are the voice of the team. So you really want to lock that part of it down.
And so, what's like what's your most difficult challenges lately in your position? Is it more of trying to keep up with the world and whatever you need to kind of? I guess let's just go with what's your most difficult challenges in your position?
I mean, I would say definitely you have to have. If you're a gamer, you already have a terrible sleep schedule as it is, so you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be awake at the super late hours. Esports is 24/7. Like, there's really no off days. I would say if there's an off day, like everybody plays on the weekends, so if you have an off day, take it like on Monday or um, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the hardest part of the job is just kind of avoiding burnout because you work so much and you do so many things throughout the day, and like you wear a lot of hats other than just marketing. You do a lot of different things. So the biggest issue that I come across, and along with my coworkers, is just avoiding burnout, finding things to do outside of like your specific role that can keep you, refreshed and keep you doing new things and kind of just keeping yourself healthy. Just I would say mental health is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. What do you like the least and the most about your job?
The least, I would say, not getting any sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But with this being my passion and this is what I want to do since I was like 12, 13, I mean, this is what I signed up for. I can't complain all the time. So this is what I love to do. But I would say the greatest part of it is just uh, piggybacking on what I just said, just it's your passion. It's what you grew up doing since you were a little kid playing video games. I mean, who wouldn't want to just wake up and your job be revolving around your favorite game? You know what I mean? I would
Mm-hmm.
say that, and just getting to meet a bunch of cool people that have the same goal as you, and just being able to travel. Obviously not anymore of COVID, but before that, traveling was a huge plus for me.
Mm-hmm. How much freedom do you have in your job? As in, like, do your bosses tell you what has to be put out, or do you kind of have freedom of what kind of initiatives you want to take in campaigns?
I can't speak for everyone else like in esports, but for me, I have honestly like complete freedom. Like, I was one of the founding members for Atlanta Rain when he first made the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I, along with a couple others, built pretty much the entire brand ourselves along with Atlanta Phase. So just doing such a great job on Rain and then doing the same thing on Phase, they pretty much let me do whatever I want in terms of content and marketing. Like, of course, for big PR stuff like today, Baby Bay retired on the Atlanta Rain, so we had to do a huge release for that. So of course, I have to be on the know for all that stuff. But in terms of just regular YouTube content or social media stuff, it's pretty much just whatever I feel like posting that day, I just go ahead and post. But I would say out of everything, I keep in contact with them the most consistent out of anyone on the team, honestly. That I always keep them updated. They keep me updated. So I have complete freedom pretty much, but I'm always in contact with them.
Mm-hmm. So, looking forward into the future, what do you see being like the biggest challenge for esports in the at least in the marketing side of things?
I would say now, just how the climate is, just keeping relevancy and just being consistent on social media now with the whole COVID stuff, because you can't travel. Everything's online. You can't, go to a studio and film, content or whatever each day. People are, quarantined in their house. So I would say the most thing you have to keep up on is just being consistent. And one thing that I did say at the beginning of the season with my team, my content team, is that if we find a good schedule and we can, find a good way to, keep our mental health good and keep a good schedule of uploading things each week, then we'll be the only team posting any content really for the rest of the season. And lo and behold, we have done that. Like in Call of Duty League, we and Overwatch League, we're the only team that has consistently kept up with our document series, Unfazed and Rain Returning. So that's a huge plus for me and the team. But I would just say just being able to stay consistent and not, falling prey to how COVID is just, kind of destroying um, how teams operate online and at home.
And okay, so this is going to be the last question for my class part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what special advice would you give to someone trying to enter this field?
I mean, it can go a lot of ways. I would say one, just do it for yourself. Like, I would say just don't compare yourself to others, like a long thing, something that I did when I was a lot younger. I'd always compare myself to people who did this for like 10 years, and that's just the dumbest thing ever to compare yourself like that. Like
Hmm.
just one, just go at your own pace. Like you're not gonna, be successful and get a great job you want overnight. Like especially if you have no experience, like you gotta, really get your feet wet and just do little jobs. If you have to take a job with no pay and you're just some marketing person on or a videographer editor on some tiny org just for experience, do it. That's what I did. Like just do your own thing, and I would say just don't lose yourself within the path to find success or whatever you want to call it success. Just stay true to yourself and just stick with your passion.
All right. I want to thank you for that part. Would you mind if I ask you some questions more for my organization, Oldest
Yeah,
Esports now?
sure.
Um, so what's one thing that you think that college esports don't do on social media well?
um I would say they do a really good job keeping up the best they can with social media and evolving the team in the game. Obviously, with college esports, there isn't really that much of developed brands and personalities within the players.
Hmm.
But if you do have that odd number where there is a player that is a huge personality, I would say, just let them carry you. I wouldn't say like carry you, but like piggyback off of them and build your brand around them to be the face of the team, which would be
Mm.
really good in terms of social media because one, fans are going to latch onto the player, and ultimately at the end of the day, the fans will latch onto the team because that's where the favorite players are. But I would just say try to stay more relevant on social media. Whether you don't have any players, try to build brands out of the players that you have. Like whether they're shy or whatever, do your best to mold them into a personality outside of just being a player.
Oh, this is one question I forgot to ask. What does your normal day look
My normal day, I would say, um, multiple calls each day. Now that I'm in a position where I'm the head of content, like a EP, I don't do as much editing and filming as I did last year. The
like?
first year of Atlanta ran, I do a lot more content ideation and sponsor deliverable talks, working with sponsors, our sponsorship director, figuring out how our year is going to go for things we have to do for them, whether it's a content calendar, special meet and greets, Q&As, and just content catered to them, certain presented by sponsors, as well as just providing notes and feedback to the content team on the weekly schedule of our uploads. So it's a lot more high level maintenance of the content team and social media than it was last year. I was filming and on the ground doing everything.
Awesome. Um, and this is kind of the last question I have. And seeing as you're one of the founding members, you might actually be able to answer this for me. Um, have y'all ever thought about producing content or kind of partnering with a collegiate team?
Yeah, we try to find a while ago before COVID, we tried to partner with some collegiate teams in Atlanta, and
Mm.
also I think it was UC Irvine that we tried to partner with. But just how the climate went with COVID, it kind of just got shut down in the dirt. But eventually, as time goes on, and we'll see how next year flows out with if COVID still as prevalent as it is today, how things will go with collegiate. But we definitely want to get into that realm because it's a huge. I think in terms of esports, not a lot of teams realize the untapped potential it is to partner with collegiate teams. So I think it's something that we should definitely get into.
Also, yeah, we were just talking about it, and I told our president that I was going to have you in a room if he wanted me to ask anything. So that's one thing we did want to ask is like, if y'all ever do kind of think about partnering, if you would just remember us.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Atlanta last year for DreamHack.
Awesome.
We don't mind the trip. It was so fun. So if y'all ever do want to produce content with us, just send an email our way or contact us on social media.
Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah, that's a great opportunity.
So thank you for your time today.
Yeah,
I
dude, of
really
course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Um, so